So today we're going to be looking at some spicy teams in the Fossil Cup. So this is my Shadow Excadrill. Here's Rainy Castform with Thunder as the surprise nuke. Its IVs aren't that good because it was pretty much the only one I had. Here's Pelipper, which I like to call Toilet Bird, and it's running the double nuke moveset of Blizzard and Hurricane instead of Weather Ball. We've got Namazu, which is our Whiscash, with also Blizzard, so we can catch some Skarmory, other Whiscash, Quagsires, and Swampets off guard. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the battles. So a terrible lead. I'm going to say switch into the Pelipper, which turns out to be a terrible decision, as the opponent responds with a Lantern. Hurricane does absolutely nothing to the Lantern, and Lantern's able to get an enormous farm down. I'm sitting back in the Excadrill, because at this point, we don't have very good Pokemon to counter Lantern, and later on in the video, I switch out the Pelipper for Whiscash. Opponent, I think, understands that, as now they're going to be protecting their Lantern quite a bit. Drill Run would easily KO from this range, so the opponent's going to shield it up, knowing that we'll probably weaken the back. And we pretty much get 1v3'd in this match because I send in the Castform and we've got 0 shield left. So I can go for the Weather Ball, the opponent can shield it up, and they can go for the Thunderbolt, and that's a GG's. Coming into the next match, where we see a decent lead into Lantern. We are resisting the spark damage, so the opponent's going to safe switch into Starmie Hidden Power, but I've got no idea which hidden power that is, and I do not want to take any risks, so I'm staying in here as it's not super effective. I'm going for the Drill Run to pressure some shields, and eventually I will switch. But double shielding this Starmie, so I'm going to be sending the Castform. And phew, it's not electric or grass in power, that's good. The opponent goes for the Thunder. I know Thunder because /Henry. Thank you. Otherwise I would have had no idea. I think I just threw an alignment there, but that's alright. Weather Ball almost doesn't take out the Starmie, so I'm able to farm down. Opponent sends back in the Lantern. I think they're going for the full farm down, so I can go for the Thunder here. Thunder is non-stab, and it's neutral damage, but look at that damage. Against the bulky Lantern, it does around 60% of its health. Opponent gets the farm down, and I'm sending back in the Exca. Opponent going for the Surf, and I think they understand, once again, that Lantern is very tricky for us. So I'm sending in the Pelipper, and GG's. We don't outpace them, and the opponent can just go straight for the Thunderbolt. So that shows how weak this team is to Lantern. So now we're going to be switching it up, hopefully soon. I don't want to see more Lantern pain. Oh, we see a Jirachi in the lead here, so that's pretty cool. Jirachi, those confusions do not look resisted. I'm going for the Drill Run, and this would KO, so the opponent's probably going to respect it with a shield. I'm going to respect it with a shield back, but I don't think this is enough for any of Jirachi's nuke moves, just Doom Desire. But even resisted, Doom Desire would pretty much KO. Opponent switches into Gastrodon, and I'm responding with Castform Rainy. I'm going for the Weather Ball, and this will do some okay damage. Does around 30% of its Gastrodon's health, and I'm going to shield my Castform up. Opponent goes for another Body Slam, I think, and I'm going for another Weather Ball. Weather Ball, even with Water Gun, is pretty spammy, so this would KO, and the opponent's just gonna let it through. Opponent sends back in the Jirachi, and I'm gonna send back in the Excadrill. We do have a stored Drill Run on there, so I'm just gonna overfarm a bit and go for the Drill Run. Drill Run gets respected by a shield, and I throw on alignment, but I'm pretty sure they had the move. Drill Run gets the KO, And in the back, it's Wormadam Trash, and this is just a one game, unless the opponent, like, I don't know. But Bug Buzz doesn't one-shot KO, so we should be able to take this game pretty comfortably. I'm just spamming out these mud bombs, and they're not doing much damage, but that's okay. We do outpace to the next move. It is an alignment, which irks me a bit, but that's okay, as we can grab the KO with mud bomb. GG's. Right. Going into the next match, we lead into Jellicent. So despite the opponent being a water type, Excadrill just hits so hard that it sort of evens it out a bit when there are even shields, as we do have a slight pacing advantage. But goes for the Bubble Beam bait. That's really unfortunate, but I think these dual runs are still going to do massive damage, even one stage debuffed. Look at that, that does like 70% of their health, and that's debuffed. Opponent goes for a Shadow Ball just to take us out. Then I send in the Castform. I'm gonna go for a massive one-shield farm down here. Opponent's gonna go for the Shadow Ball, but that's fine with me, so I can just safely shield it up. We go for the full farm down, and what did they send in? They send in Skarmory, and now we've got a chance to show off Thunder. Does the opponent respect it? They do not. That does massive damage to the Skarmory. That is super effective damage. That's big. I go for the Weather Ball. Weather Ball gets shielded up, and opponent sort of wants to keep the Skarmory alive. Opponent goes for the Sky Attack, but I caught it onto the Whiscash. Opponent sends in their own Whiscash, but I've got Blizzard. All shields are down. Opponent goes for the Mud Bomb. That doesn't KO, so I'm going for the Blizzard. Blizzard is going to deal massive damage to the Shadow Whiscash, and guess what? I'm running a terrible IV, low rank Whiscash, so we win CMP against the Shadow Whiscash, which is absolutely great. So we can get the Whiscash out of the way, and the opponent sends in Skarmory. They're able to Air Slash farm me down, but I'm able to Water Gun farm down the Skarmory before they make a move. GG's. So Whiscash is seeming like a pretty good addition to the team. Now, coming into the next match, we see a Shadow Ferrothorn lead. I think this one started a bit late, and I got some lag there, so I wasn't able to get off my first few fast moves. But that's alright, I can go for the dual run, that grabs the shield, and I'm already at the next one. This will come very, very close to KOing. Hopefully it will KO. No, it barely doesn't. So, I realize I want to save a shield, and I just let the X go down. I'm sending in Castform, and we get the one Water Gun farm down. Opponent sends in the Jellicent, but we have Thunder. I'm just going to let them move through, as I don't want them to think we have any hard-hitting moves. Shadow Ball doesn't KO, but it does massive damage, and I'm going for the Thunder. Thunder will do massive damage. Oh wow, it almost KOs. I'm going for the Whiscash, catching the move, as I kind of want to save the Castform as either catch bait or just some damage later on. Oh, but it's a Lantern in the back, and we can take that game. Thank you.